Hey, welcome to the garage. Today I'm working on a Husqvarna FE250, and it's a new one. It's a 2020, this year's model, and I've been riding it and noticed that the seat is very hard on it. So I'm going to do something I've done before. Quite often, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and order a new seat and spend quite a bit of money to get a softer seat. But there's something I've done before. I did it on another bike. I'm going to try on this seat. And I figure, well, what have I got to lose? Because if I'm going to have to get a new one anyway, I might as well experiment with this one a bit and see if I can soften it up. So for what I'm doing now is just pulling out the staples, and boy, there's a lot of them. And hopefully I'll be able to get them back in place. And I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, I've got all the staples pulled out. It's not too hard, just basically pry them up with a screwdriver. Just go around and pry them up, and then grab them with a pair of needle nose and pop them right out. Sometimes it's kind of hard to grab them with just the needle nose and get them out of there. But so now, yeah, I should be able to peel this off now. See what we got underneath here. This is a typical dirt bike seat. Very hard. Honestly, you don't sit down a lot on a dirt bike or enduro bike. You stand up. Okay, so back to this. My wife just popped in, so I had to pause for a minute there. So yeah, a lot of dirt bike seats are very hard because, especially this is an enduro bike, you're standing up most of the time. But I'm looking at maybe doing an enduro they're putting on here. It's going to be 168 kilometers, and I'm thinking my butt hurts after an hour. Can you imagine what it's going to be like all day long on a tough enduro? So what I'm going to do is try to soften this up. Now, how can I do that? You know, it's a pretty solid piece of foam, but what I've done in the past is I take a knife and I cut down into the foam, and then I'm going to cut every other piece out so that it is kind of like this, so it will squish and conform. Now you might say that's ruining the seat. Yeah, but if I'm going to replace it anyway, why not try it? And this is for free. It's not costing me anything. And if it doesn't work, okay, worst case scenario, I'll buy another foam and put a new foam in. Try to get one soft enough from Seat Concepts or something like that. So let's get started. So I got my tools from the kitchen. Fairly straight, sharp knife, and also a bread knife. Bread knife works really good for cutting foam. What I did is I sat on the bike first, and I kind of measured where is my typical seating place. So, and I marked it with pencil. So one of my marks is right here, so I can mark that with pencil. And the other one is back a little farther. I'll stretch that back. If I can find my mark, the other one's about right there. So I'm going to try this in this area. It's going to do two things. Hopefully it's going to soften it up a bit, but it's also, the bike's a little high for me, so I want to sit a little lower. So by making it softer, I'm going to compress down farther into it. It's going to give me a better footing as well, I hope, by dropping the bike maybe 2 or 3 centimeters when you're sitting on it. So let's get started. Okay, see how easy that cuts with that butter knife? Bread knife? Okay, so now I've cut it all the way across. I actually found that with this particular foam, just a straight knife works better. I guess you have to just try it out. It's nice to have both. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out every other of these slices. If you look real close there, you can see the slices. So, one piece out. Basically, that's what it's going to look like. You can make it much finer cuts, actually. But you can see how easy that pushes down now. So I'm going to continue to go ahead and cut this all the way across. And we're going to try it out. Okay, so I've finished now. You can see it's all the way across my seating area. So when I sit on it, it's gonna, it's really gonna squish down. It's nice, I can feel it already. But let's put the cover back on, try it out, see what it looks like. I like it. So at this point, I put it on the bike, I sat on it, I like the way it feels. Of course, I'll need to ride with it, check it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically slide my seat cover back over the top, and then we'll staple it on. A couple things you can use: regular hand stapler, but you'll need a powerful one to get it through the plastic. Some of these plastic seats can be very hard to staple, and it's pretty hard on your wrist. Or you can get an electric stapler. Not very expensive. This is a cheap one. It does a pretty good job most of the time. So I'm going to get this stretched back around here, and then I'm going to start putting staples in. It's pretty simple because I left the front on, so it's already placed in place. I didn't take this part off, so I don't have to redo the whole thing. Getting it lined up. So just get the sides lined up about where they were originally. Looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to put in a few staples to kind of hold it in place. And then once I get a few holes, just hold it in place, and I'll go ahead and staple it all around. This is a very easy seat cover. Compared to some, you really, especially if you put a new one on, you really got to stretch it, and it can be a real battle. And I've recovered many seats, and I'm hoping this one won't be that difficult. Important to really hold the stapler down when you do it, otherwise you get one like this one right here. It wasn't holding very firm and it didn't go in all the way. So So I'm going to go ahead and finish stapling this up and then we're going to try it out. Okay, got the cover back on. As you can see, you can't a little bit see the lines there. If you push it, you can sure feel it, but you can't really see it. Got all my staples back around the outside. Not too challenging. Actually, this plastic was softer than some I've worked with, and the staples, for the most part, went right in. So now let's get it back on the bike. Okay. So we've got our Husky seat here. Normally pretty easy to put on. You just basically get it set and then slide it forward. Ooh, look at that. Snug. Just need to put a screw in there and then pop my panel on. Just one screw. That's all it takes to get it out there. It's really nice. But before I do that, I want to sit on it and see how it feels. You can see already, look how easily that pushes down. See if that's comfy or not. Oh, I'm going to move my camera first. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's try it out. See how tall this is. It's kind of a challenge for me actually to even get my leg over it. Oh. I can feel it squishing. It's about right here, so I can sit back pretty far and I've got that squish. And then up here, with it, I can almost get my feet flat now because it's probably dropped it about 2 or 3 centimeters. And yet it's softer than it was. And I didn't take the foam all the way down to the plastic. I left about that much foam underneath it. And so I've still got that insulation if I hit down hard. Yeah, I like it. I'll have to, of course, take it out on the trail and see how it performs. But feels good so far. And of course, you might not want to try this out. This is a fairly new bike. But you know, if it's not comfortable and you're not enjoying riding it, make it comfortable. And again, you can go aftermarket, you can buy an expensive seat, but why not try this first? As you can see, you can't hardly see the ridges in it. You can feel them, but take it out and try it out. See how it feels. And then if you don't like it, well, you can still buy a new foam or a complete new seat for it that you're probably going to have to get anyways if you're going to be comfortable. But what I found is most aftermarket seats aren't really that soft. There's very few that make them super soft if you like them like that. Yeah. But yeah, do it yourself. Why not try it first? Be blessed. Hit that like button if you like and subscribe if you want to. I'm always doing something in the shop with a motorcycle, and I like to film it once in a while and share these little things that I've discovered over 40 years of riding with other people like you.